Welcome to Research Technique series. In our effort to introduce eminent social scientists to students of higher education, today we have with us renowned social scientist Dr. Sumit Gupta from Dehradun, Uttarakhand. Dr. Sumit Gupta is working as head of the department and senior associate professor in the Department of General Management in the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, UPES, Dehradun, Uttarakhand. He is Master of Finance and Control, Master of Financial Consultants, Master of Financial Planning. He was awarded PhD for his studies in derivatives. His area of specialization is finance, risk management, project finance, and other areas are supply chain, infrastructure finance, oil and gas, banking, etc. He has more than 20 years of teaching and research experience. He has 5 years of industry experience. He is also certified business administrator and certified forensic accountant. He has NSE certification in financial marketing. Before joining this UPES, Dr. Sumit Gupta has worked as a faculty of finance in IPS ICFAI Business School, Jaipur. He has worked with Ayur Herbals, DAV group of institutions in state of Haryana, IBS Hyderabad. He is also associated with small-scale industries for their projects. He has presented various papers in seminars sponsored by UGC. Dr. Sumit Gupta has a credit of more than 80 articles and research papers in various reputed magazines and journals. He has participated and presented his papers in various seminars and workshops. Dr. Gupta has credit of 8 books. He has chaired Agro Supply Chain Conference of 2014, 15, 16, 17 and 18 and International Conference on Management of Infrastructure as co-convener. He has convened 8 national conferences. He has also chaired many conclaves. He has also delivered sessions on oil and gas, finance power, finance at HPSCL, Oil India, IOCL, RRVPNL. He has delivered session for Petro Bangla senior executives and IIM Ranchi. He is also an active member of NHRD at Jaipur chapter. He has also received award for distinguished services and publishing research papers in Scopus Index journals. He is acting as member board of studies and academic council for various universities. He has also acted as member board of directors for various companies across the globe. He is a lifetime member of Indian Commerce Association, Indian Economic Association, IMA, and the Research Center for Social Science. He is certified forensic accountant from Canada. He is a life member of BRICS and mentor startup Uttarakhand. So nice, sir. Nice. Welcome on this platform.
Thank you so much, sir, for a warm welcome. I hope this is a very detailed description about me. Thank you so much, sir.
So nice, sir. Thank you very much. And your achievements are really marvelous in the areas of finance. And you are working with a reputed university. You are handling a lot of research work. Your talk with me will help students of higher education in a big way. There are many financial issues which students should venture into to find the facts, and we are going to involve you so that the students may learn from you. Sir, my first request to you, please speak on financial issues on petroleum and energy these days, where students can venture into for research. Please advise them and tell them about petroleum and energy.
Sure, sir. So thank you, sir. So students, a very warm good morning to everyone, whosoever is available online or offline. See, students, if we talk about oil and gas sector, we are very much aware of that. If we talk about oil and gas, be it I'm talking about upstream, midstream or downstream, this is very important to talk about how economy is moving ahead. If we know that now we are more focused towards natural gas or shale gas, so these are those areas which we can explore, meaning thereby if we talk about economy, energy efficiency is very important. It means that we cannot rely on one source of energy, because along with non-renewable, we also talk about renewable energy sources. So we have to integrate the energy supply chain, right? So integration of energy supply chain to production and processing. So we need to integrate the energy supply. Ultimately, the goal is energy efficiency. Now, moving towards the research area in energy efficiency, very important is we face so many kind of risk. So assessment of risk, and preparing a risk mitigation plan, risk framework is very important, because the risk is not only systematic, risk can also be unsystematic. So what kind of risk we are facing is very important. So risk assessment is one of the area to be worked with. Number two, if I talk about oil and gas sector, we are very much aware about EOR, it is enhanced oil recovery. So whenever we have enhanced oil recovery, there might be a chances of that the well is dry. It means that the risk of losing your fund is very much high. So talking about enhanced oil recovery, this is one of the area. Third area is, and energy sector or oil and gas sector, we may work on value chain analysis. It is very important, which include transport infrastructure and techno-economic optimization. See, question is not that we are producing oil and gas. The question is that are we optimized? How we can optimize the cost, or how we can increase the profitability. It means that we can work on value chain analysis. Vis-a-vis, we can also work on activity-based costing. What is the activity-wise cost, primary cost, secondary cost, and how we can optimize the cost. Not only this, if we talk about oil and gas, I said you earlier, we have very much to work on risk and resilience. It is very important, because you know that even we have faced during pandemic, there is too much resilience. So talking about risk and resilience and decision-making processes for life extension. So this is very important to work on this area. See, risk is not only to be defined only quantification, and we need to explore uncertainty to be touched upon, sensitivity, scenario, decision tree. So these are those areas to be worked with, because not only talking about on ground getting explore oil. If I talk about shale gas, you need to work on offshore or onshore, right? So integrated assessment of lifetime. So lifetime assessment, correlating with risk, correlating with cost is very important. This is the way we are talking about financial issues in the supply in oil and gas. Now, you know that the work is moving towards digitalization. So application of big data, application of Internet of Things, that is also involved. So understand that I cannot say that I can work only on risk. Now, to assess the risk, sometime I take the help of big data to consolidate the data on cloud platform. This is such a vast sector. See, if I talk about exploration, I will go to upstream, processing, midstream, and further refining, go to downstream. Each of the vertical have their independent risk assessment. This is one part. Now, this is oil and gas only. If I go to power sector, starting from power generation, transmission, distribution, huge amount of risk is there. The problem is not that we are producing, right? The problem is that how much we are profitable. So profitability will come whenever we assess the uncertainty, because I cannot go by a rule of thumb that my project cost will increase only by 10%. There might be time overrun, there might be cost overrun. So in such senses, it's very important to work on risk management, risk assessment, and important is risk mitigation plan. If we do not prepare the plan, we cannot prepare the framework. So in the benefit of respective stakeholder, be it company, be it government, economy, it's very important to prepare a comprehensive framework for risk assessment and uncertainty. So I just touch upon some of the aspect on financial. At present point of time, if we see, even environment monitoring and modeling is also coming up. See, environmental cost is very important because ultimately we are imposing the pressure on environment. If we look at the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, we are working in any of the sector, we have to have link with the SDGs, which might be climate, water, environment, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the quick update on oil and gas, which we can work upon as a part of energy sector. Now, one important part I also touch upon, if we talk about usage of nanotechnology, is very much upcoming area. Please understand that technology intervention is for updation, but technology intervention will also bring some kind of risk. So everywhere, anywhere, you will find there is some kind of uncertainty. If I am uncertain, definitely probability will come. If probability will come, definitely risk will come. If risk will come, I have to make some kind of decision-making process. So this is very, very important talking about this kind of verticals. I told you something about onshore. See, we have subsea power supply solutions, offshore power grids. This is very, very important when we talk about power generation, be it hydro or hydro is very, very important because at present point of time, we do not talk about only non-renewable, just thermal. We talk about non-renewable, talking about solar or hydro. So see students or researchers, we need to talk about energy vertical at large, because it is a proper, it's a large basket or portfolio comprising of oil and gas, power, and many more. We can work on first point which I touch upon is our energy efficiency. Number 2, we have to work on integrated energy supply. We can work on oil recovery. 3, we can work on value chain. 4, we can work on activity based costing. 5, we can work on integrated planning and logistics. 6, we can work on risk and resilience. 7, we can work on offshore component and structures. 8, and we can work on environment. 9. So I just list down some of the areas which are workable, because see, as a researcher, my output should be relevant to economy, relevant to the problem. So my suggestion is that always try to find a business problem followed by research problem. I cannot do a reverse ground. I take my output, then find the problem. My research should be oriented towards a problem of the economy. So Dr. Sachdeva, this is my idea about oil and gas vertical, to which I work with actually.
Oh, nice.
Because yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. You have explained very nicely. Sir, your university is very reputed. It's very well known, especially in the research areas. Please tell something about your university and tell something about Dehradun, Uttarakhand. Students may like to know from all
Absolutely. Sure. Sir, as a professor in School of Business is very well known domain focused B school. So we focus on oil and gas, we focus on power, and now we also catering to economy in the way of digital business. Digital, which is a very upcoming domain. So we work on analytics, digital business, family business and entrepreneurship, financial issues, marketing issues, HR issues, supply chain issues, and international business. So as this university is working on various projects, be it project of Niti Aayog, or we are the think tank for Niti Aayog. And not only Niti Aayog, we are working with, we are very much closely connected to Reserve Bank of India for working on, for getting their inputs to us, to our students. And as a School of Business, we have a faculty strength of 83 plus full-time professors and more than 200 PhD scholars from industry. Because industry PhD scholar coming to campus, sharing their input, pursuing their PhD, it's a wide, long learning. And now it's my important to say that this year we have touch upon the new education policy. With NEP policy, now we are talking about life skill for students. So learning how to learn, living conversations, working with data, start your startup in our curriculum. So we are way ahead with the new education policy to work with. So university is working on multiple dimension, not only energy vertical. So starting from energy, oil and gas, power, supply chain, analytics, digital business. We know that, so because economy is moving towards digitalization, to work on digital marketing, social media marketing is very, very important. Moreover, like search engine optimization, big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence are those areas to be explored with. And Uttarakhand government is very much ahead of that. They have a Startup Uttarakhand initiative where they promote small startup. Go give your presentation to government. If it is viable to work with, they'll give you funding. So that way Uttarakhand is that earlier also we have a investor summit in Uttarakhand by the government of India. So that way is actually a mini Himalayas to work with. So talking about Dehradun and other places, a very nice location. You will find that it is cohesive to work. See, even for talking about hydro, we know about Terry. So we have a hydropower plant installed there. Go see it, learn it, and do your research live. So not only working on this the hydro or oil and gas, government is very much working on smart city. So under smart city project, government is working a lot to make the city smart. So Uttarakhand is such a state to be really explored with, not only from tourism perspective, but also from niche initiative taken by government of Uttarakhand for further development. And in that context, the School of Business, UPES, is very much ahead of the same, because School of Business touch upon various aspects, and we are multifunctional and multidisciplinary kind of programs we are running. So to name a few, like HR analytics, financial analytics, these are so upcoming words. We last year we have worked on neuro-linguistic programming, which is the perception mapping for the students, because what we perceive, what we do, there is the difference. So how to perceive their connotation and how to make them orient towards their outcome, we are more toward working that. And as a university, sir, we are working on OBE model, outcome-based education, because there has to be some outcome of the learning. So every course we are running have a course outcome. Every program we are running have a program outcome, and within a program we have a program specific outcomes. So that is the knowledge framework we pursue as a university, as a School of Business.
So nice, sir. Very nice. Very nice. You have spoken a lot, and I think students will really take the benefit. Your final advice: any special techniques they use in finance? Is there anything especially?
Yeah. Sir, in talking about finance, there are a lot many research tools are available. I suggest they should work on Tableau. Tableau is very important software to work with. Maybe to name a few, they can work on Tableau. They can work on RapidMiner. They can work on R. They can work on KNMIE. They can work on Qlik. But out of all this, very important to work with Tableau, to learn Tableau, use Tableau. To work on RapidMiner, R is very important. Not only this, even they can work on Amos. I talk about decision tree. Amos is very, very useful to make a decision tree. So, sir, talking about these are some software, but as a student, I should know about very important multicollinearity issues. Or this is very important because similarly, they should talk about some kind of usage of econometric tools like Granger casualty test, because see, question is not that what tool we can use. Question is that what research tool is applicable to my research. So particularly speaking for myself as a researcher, I work in the area of risk management. So I use very commonly Amos, I use very commonly R. Recently, we have done a project for Uttarakhand government on psychological need assessment for caregivers. So this project we have done perception mapping of caregivers, and we have applied R. We have taken the conceptual lens, taken the feedback, and then share the report with the government. So I hope these tools are very, very relevant tools, and I hope like R is open source. So some softwares are openly available. They can refer that, but starting point should be learning from factor analysis, coming to multicollinearity, coming to causality, then coming to Tableau or R. Complete process, complete layout has to be understood for a better outcome of the research. So that's what it's my mind, which I follow actually for myself.
So nice, sir. So nice. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. You have explained a lot, starting from problems, telling about the university, telling about the softwares which the students can use. And sir, your talk with me will go a long way. And I hope students from all over India, all over the world, whosoever sees this, because this platform is for higher education. So we can't expect that commoners will view this. But you have explained a lot. So nice. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure to always work for higher education, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Dr. Smit Gupta, an expert in petroleum and energy sector, comments that in any economy, energy efficiency is very important. Integrating supply chain to production and processing is very vital. For this purpose, researchers need to assess the risk, which can be systematic as well as unsystematic. Risk management is essential to see uncertainty and subsequent profitability. Dr. Smit Gupta suggests 9 areas where researchers can work in petroleum, energy and hydropower. They are energy efficiency, integrated energy supply, oil recovery, value chain, activity-based costing, integrated uncertainty approach, risk resilience, offshore components and structures, and environment. Our research should be oriented towards problem, not just for the end goals. University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, UPES, is the think tank of Niti Aayog with 83 professors working in the university. UPES works on OBE model, outcome based education. Thank you for watching. Scholars, please note each research problem, whether medical, engineering, natural sciences, social sciences, including economical, human behavior and psychological. They are all unique in nature. Each problem needs to be handled and analyzed with specific methodology. Each technique which I am going to take is general in nature and should be used under expert advice if you are a beginner. Learn the techniques and use your expertise specific to your problem wherever required. You may submit your research work at Journal of Global Economy, rcssindia.org. Your work is evaluated by peers with double-blind methodology. You will get comments for your work.